All right, so we are going to be watching Mike Tomlin's post-game press conference from the Week 10 victory over the Washington Commanders. Um, Good win. I either have already made or will have a video for you guys on my thoughts of the game. I haven't made it yet. I just don't know like the order in which I'm uploading these, so we'll see. But I'll have this, and I think I'm also going to react to what the players say. Now I'm not going to go player by player. I'm probably just going to have like one video of like the main press conferences, and maybe like then another video of like the locker room. It's iffy right now, just because this is the first week that I'm actually having to do this since doing the channel overhaul. So let's get into it and see what Mike Tomlin had to say about the team's win.
Man, I'm really appreciative of the efforts of the guys. You know, from a tactical standpoint, I was really aggressive today and didn't always serve us well. We took the ball to start the game. We didn't do anything with it. And that probably positioned them to book in the half the way that they did. They got the last possession the first half, the first possession the second half. And I thought those 14 points really changed the texture of the game. But you live, man. You can't come in hostile environments versus good people and not be aggressively pursue victory. We're not going to live in our fears. That's just how we get down. Same thing on the fake punt. That is me. I own that. I'll do it again. But we didn't execute it. And so it was a bad idea. But our guys fought. They didn't blink. We got contributions in all three phases. We got contributions from old Steelers like Cam has been around forever. We got contributions from new Steelers, man, like Mike Williams and Preston. And we're just appreciative of all parties involved. It's a good team win. When you're coming into an environment like this, man, and you find a way to get it done, not only is it a well-earned victory, man, but there's some real growth associated with it. Knowledge of self, individually and collectively, man, is a component of this thing as we push through this journey, man. And we learned a little bit about ourselves, hopefully in a positive way today. We had a lot of bumps and bruises. Some people were able to go back. Here are two that I think did not. Dante Jackson with a hamstring did not. Alex Highsmith with an ankle did not. I think everybody else kind of in some form or fashion got back in the game. Questions?
Aggressive mindset. I might assume you weren't going to go for it there on fourth down. You trying?
We'll never know, will we? You know I'm a degenerate.
Seeing that Russell Wilson throw like that over the years, that just throw it up there and connect.
I've seen it a few times on highlight shows. It's a little better in person. Believe it.
How much of a grasp did Mike Williams have of the entire offense? What was he? Did you think he would be able to give
The
you?
entire.
He's a veteran guy. He's a quick study. We didn't throw everything at him, but we threw enough, particularly the one-dimensional ball, the passing circumstances. We didn't want him over there standing with us at the weightiest of moments.
Was Calvin banged up or hurt or anything?
Yeah, big man, one-on-one ball. Yes, sir.
This is the closest NFL team I know to the 757. I know you're so focused on the game day and everything like that, but is it nice to come back here, see some faces in the crowd?
You're right. I'm focused on the game. I appreciate my home, but I'm working today.
Mike, do you think the quality of the receptions you had from your receiving corps today?
You know, I've been trying to tell you guys all year that they make the plays when called upon, and that's just a mindset and idea. Their efforts make it real, and so keep watching.
Mike, you mentioned that this is a team that had never been stopped on fourth down. That was a critical stop for you guys late in the game.
Big time, But we did a lot today that, they weren't accustomed to. They had only had 13 3-and-outs through 9 football games. That was an agenda of ours. 47% of their drives reached the red zone. That was an agenda of ours. They're a dangerous group. They're a hot group. But we want to be the firemen. We want to put that stuff out.
So what does it say about this team losing the turnover battle, but still finding a way to win the game?
To the guys go to credit. They're tough-minded. They are. Particularly in some of the field position things, man. In the second half, man, they had big kick returns and things of that nature. Our defense really got tight when they needed to, man, and can't say enough about the efforts of guys like James Pierre and guys like that had an opportunity to step up because of the attrition component of play.
You
come in thinking you try that fake punt that early?
Absolutely.
Mike, I know you get some version of this question a lot, but Washington's trying to get where y'all have been for 40 years in terms of the consistency year after year. What's the biggest challenge to meeting that standard every year, and how do you go about doing it year to year?
I think I and we just have a small picture mentality. We don't talk about the challenges of present day in reference to what's happened. We feel the urgency of now. That stuff that's on our resume is just on our resume. There's enough to have your attention in present day, and that's where we stay mentally.
As a guy you know from William & Mary, what can you say about him and the job he's done this year?
I'll say that I'm not surprised by it. That's my brother. Man, we came together at a very young age, man, and chasing our dreams. Shout out to Virginia Military Institute, man. Place got us both started. I love that guy, man. He's a top quality coach. I'd be misleading you if I told you I was anything other than, that's what I expect from him.
The type of offense you know are with Russ and then the type of team you are, how close is that to being what you envisioned and hoped for?
It was enough for us to win today. And we'll get back in the lab because we got a real hot opponent next week, and so we'll see.
Same thought process. The guy you prepared for today at quarterback has done a lot of great things this year. The guy you're preparing for next week has done a lot of great things. Is there any similarities or differences?
Man, be real slow comparing people to Lamar Jackson. That's a multi-time MVP. That's Mr. Jackson. We'll see Mr. Jackson in a few days.
Coach, Jaden Daniels, a successful season thus far individually as a rookie. What kind of homework or what kind of talk did you have as the players on kind of stopping his rushing, passing prowess today?
It's a template for us. We have a mode of operation when we face extreme quarterback mobility, and that's what he has. He also can throw it very well. But being in the north, facing guys like Mr. Jackson is somewhat familiar to us.
All right, thanks, Coach. Thanks, Mike. Bring Russell right in.
All right. Hold on. There. That might be a good place to just pause and see that. So, just to talk about this a little bit. So the fake punt, I was not in favor of the decision, and that's not just because of how it turned out. Even if it had worked, I didn't like the decision. And I didn't like it because I felt like you were too far in your own territory, and that's the thing. Maybe, they're expecting it so much less that you're that far in your territory, but I would have probably had to have been another 15 to 20 yards down the field before comfortably making that decision. Because then at that point, yeah, their starting field position is in my own territory, but it's a lot further down. So Mike said he'd do it again. I mean, yeah, if it's a situation that benefits you, I can see going for it. And then the question of, were you going to snap it if they didn't jump? Guess we'll never know. I mean, that's just Mike. That's just Coach T. He's going to just have those little things with the media where, what was the hot dog thing he said? I could give you all the ingredients of a hot dog, but you might not like it, kind of thing, where it's like, yeah, we have a process here, and I'm not going to give anything away to you. It doesn't help me to give anything away to you. It doesn't help me to name a starting quarterback after Justin had gone 5-2. Yeah, George kind of spilled the beans. Yeah, the media saw Russ taking first team reps. But it didn't benefit him to say Russ is the starter. At least, if it's just the slightest bit, have the Jets think that Justin could play, or it's like, hey, if this doesn't go well for us, they're gonna pull him and they're gonna play Justin, so you still have to prepare for Justin. Like, it's not a Russ is the starter, boom, done. So that's just what Mike Tomlin kind of does. As far as Jaden Daniels and the Commanders go, yes, you don't just willy-nilly throw out comparisons of a rookie quarterback who is having a phenomenal year to a guy like Lamar Jackson, who he called Mr. Jackson. That's what he does with like a sign of respect. He called Nick Chubb Mr. Chubb. So Lamar Jackson is Mr. Jackson. And that can be very much a, like if you ever see, I'm trying to think, like a teenager, if they're referring to an adult, like, you know, how are you, Mr. Jackson? And then they could say, oh, call me Lamar. You know, Mr. Jackson is my father. Like, you know, that's kind of like, it's just like respect. But yes, Lamar Jackson being a 2-time MVP, and depending on what goes on this year, he could very well win a 3rd MVP. It would be back-to-back for him. Like, you know, he's one of the elite quarterbacks in the entire National Football League. And so, yeah, you know, they're roughly the same size. Yeah, they're both mobile. But don't compare the two. Jaden still has a long way to go before he can be compared to Lamar. And then some of those stats I did not know. Like the fact that they had never been stopped on 4th down yet this year. And everyone's going to debate that they weren't stopped on 4th. Because, I mean, that was damn close with Zach Ertz. So who knows if he really got it. The hard thing to do, right? Because let's say in a hypothetical alternate universe, the ref spots him 1st down, and it's reviewed. It's probably going to stand no matter what. Whether it was called a 1st down or short, they were probably going to let it stand no matter what. They were just trying to see, was there something clear and obvious that we missed? Because we've seen referees have a clear and obvious, we missed it. Like the face mask against Sam Darnold. There was a hold in this game against TJ in the end zone that would have given the Steelers a safety, but they missed it. So, but I just think it would have stood no matter what the initial calling was. And then for 47% of their drives to get to the red zone, that is insane. That is absolutely insane. I did see also people today talking about how Russell only completed 50% of his throws, and he was like 14 to 28 or something like that for a little less than 200. And Jaden Daniels was 17 of 34 for a little over 200. And it's like, Jaden was 50% too. Like they kind of just ignored, hey, Terry got a receiving touchdown, fantasy football. They kind of just ignored the fact that that Jaden had a bad game too. So it really is amazing what the defense did. I'm going to talk about this a lot more in the breakdown. But yeah, if anyone didn't know that Dan Quinn, they talked about it during the game, but Dan Quinn was part of the coaching staff at William and Mary when Mike Tomlin was a senior wide receiver there. So for anyone who doesn't know, Mike Tomlin was actually a wide receiver in college, which that's not super uncommon for someone on one side of the ball. when they're done playing to go teach the other side of the ball, because it kind of teaches you, hey, okay, you're doing this as you're doing this as a corner, as a wide receiver. This is what I'm going to do, and this is how you need to react. Like, it's kind of that kind of thing. But so yes, Mike Tomlin is a defensive-minded head coach, but he was a wide receiver. And then they spent time together at the Virginia Military Institute, VMI, just like he said. So they are, close, very close. And Dan Quinn is a good coach. He is. Honestly, the Cowboys probably should have fired Mike McCarthy and just said, Dan Quinn, don't go to Washington. You're our new head coach. But, yeah. So, pretty short press conference from Mike Tomlin here. But it's like an expected press conference. He's not going to give anything away. He's going to credit the team. Alex and Dante. As far as Dante goes, hamstring injuries are so tough. Like, he might be out maybe 3-4 weeks, maybe even longer. Just hamstrings, depending on the severity. It's good to just basically give about a month. As far as Alex goes, I did see something today. It said that that Alex is probably going to be about 2 to 3 weeks with his ankle injury, and it was pretty bad. It looked bad, like it almost looked like he broke his ankle, kind of bad. But luckily, he did not, because if he breaks his ankle, he's out for the year. So luckily, he didn't do that. So he will be back in just a few weeks here. I did see that the Bengals worked out Xavier Howard but didn't sign him. The Steelers could, in theory, bring him in, but you did just get Cam Sutton back. And the Steelers have had like that little bit of we got Cam back, but now Dante's hurt. And Alex got hurt before, then we had Nick got hurt, then we had to play 1 or 2 games, but then Alex came back, and then we got Preston, and now Alex is out again. And then even in this game, Calvin got a concussion, or had to be assessed for a concussion, and that's when Mike had to come in, and that's when Russ hit Mike Williams for the game winning touchdown with a couple minutes left. So it is insane what Pittsburgh's injury chain is here, to be just like, okay, this guy's back, okay, this guy got hurt, and now he's in this and this, and it's like, But yeah, I do always love listening to Mike Tomlin talk, though. He's been on the Pivot a couple times, and I will go back and listen to his episodes. And they're, half hour long. Okay. And it's literally just because I love listening to him talk. Many people have said that he is the best coach at the podium, but then they'll go and criticize him and whatever they want, they want to criticize him. But I just like listening to him. So yes, I will have the players' interviews. I will have an overview of the game. I think that's about it. I think that's all I really have planned until his press conference for next week's game against Baltimore. I don't know if it's in Pittsburgh or in Baltimore, though. I'm going to double check here really quick. But yes, so I will have that for you guys, and that'll be out the the day after this or maybe 2 days after this. But it will be out. It just depends on when I'm able to get stuff recorded, edited, all that stuff. So the Steelers and the Ravens will face each other November 17th in Pittsburgh. Okay, so this first game is in Pittsburgh. Good. We don't have to go anywhere. So yes, if you guys did enjoy this, please do leave a like. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, turn notifications on, and I will see all you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.